Before we talk about what silence did to us, we need to talk about what they were carrying. The generation that rebuilt their lives after displacement didn't just rebuild homes, they rebuilt safety, they rebuilt stability, they rebuilt dignity. But they did it while carrying things they never fully processed: fear that everything could disappear again, grief for homes and identities they never returned to, anger they didn't have room to express, the humiliation of starting over, the pressure to never fail again. They didn't suppress these things because they were cold. They suppressed them because there wasn't time or space to feel. And this wasn't only about displacement. Generations who lived under colonial rule also carried long periods of instability. When a society lives under control, hierarchy, and uncertainty, emotional expression can feel unsafe. Authority becomes normalized and order becomes protection. Silence becomes strategy. So, even before borders were drawn, many families were already living in survival mode. When survival becomes the priority, stability becomes more important than emotional exploration. Order tends to feel safer than debate. Control feels safer than uncertainty. In many homes, love was present. It just wasn't always verbal. Love was shown through responsibility, through sacrifice, through working hard, through making sure education, food, and security were protected. Affection wasn't always a language, security was. Emotional openness, the kind that allows vulnerability and dialogue, wasn't common in many survival shaped homes. And emotions, especially uncomfortable ones, didn't always have space. Anger was discouraged, sadness was minimized, frustration was redirected. Uncomfortable feelings were pushed aside, tucked away, rarely revisited. Not because they didn't exist, but because expressing them felt destabilizing. In many homes, certain phrases became familiar. Be quiet, don't argue, don't talk back, go to your room, you have no right, do you know how much I've sacrificed for you? These weren't always said in cruelty. Often they came from exhaustion, from pressure, from fear of losing control. But repeated often enough, children don't just hear correction, they hear your voice is not safe. So we learn to read the room, we learn to keep peace, we learned that harmony was safer than expression. Healthy disagreement wasn't modeled, open dialogue wasn't normalized. As adults, this can look like avoiding conflict, feeling anxious during disagreement, struggling to express needs clearly, feeling guilty for having different opinions, or swinging to the opposite extreme. Not because something is wrong with us, but because we were raised in homes shaped by survival, not emotional fluency. This isn't about blaming previous generations. They adapted to survive. But adaptation isn't the same as healing. They carried fear quietly. They carried grief privately. They carried responsibility heavily. We inherited the patterns. Understanding the pattern isn't betrayal, it's the beginning of change.